June 4, 1942, the day the Pacific Ocean turned into a battlefield of epic proportions, marking the Battle of Midway as the turning point of World War II. This wasn't just any ordinary skirmish, it was a monumental clash of titans that forever altered the course of the war. Situated in the heart of the Pacific, Midway Atoll became the stage for a decisive naval battle that saw the United States and Japan lock horns in a fierce confrontation. This battle occurred a mere 6 months after the infamous attack on Pearl Harbor, a day that lived in infamy and set the United States on a path of retaliation. The Battle of Midway is etched in history as a pivotal point, a moment where the tide began to turn in favor of the Allies. The outcome of this battle had far-reaching implications that rippled through the rest of the war. The Battle of Midway was not just another battle. It was a defining moment, a turning point in the vast canvas of World War II. An unsung hero of the Battle of Midway, the American codebreakers. In the shadows of this historic battle, a group of ingenious individuals were working relentlessly, far from the front lines. These were the American codebreakers, pivotal to the outcome of the Battle of Midway. Their work was a testament to the power of the human mind and the impact of information in war. The Japanese Navy used a complex code, known as JN-25, to communicate their plans of attack. This code was a formidable challenge, but the American codebreakers were up to the task. They were a diverse group, including linguists, mathematicians, and chess champions, all united by a common goal: to decipher the Japanese codes and provide their country with the information it needed to defend itself. By early 1942, they had made significant progress. The codebreakers had identified enough of the Japanese code to understand that a major attack was being planned. The location was referred to only as AF, but the codebreakers suspected that AF was Midway Atoll. To confirm this, the Americans sent out a false message indicating that Midway's water purification system had failed. When the Japanese relayed this information, referring to AF as having water troubles, it confirmed the codebreakers' suspicions. With this crucial piece of information, the Americans were able to set up an ambush against the Japanese fleet, turning the tide of the battle in their favor. The American Navy, far smaller and less seasoned than the Japanese fleet, used the intelligence provided by the codebreakers to strategically position their forces. They were ready and waiting when the Japanese arrived, resulting in a decisive American victory. The role of the American codebreakers was not just about breaking codes, it was about determining the course of the battle and ultimately the war. Their work was a silent, unseen force that had a profound impact on the outcome of the Battle of Midway. The prowess of the American codebreakers cannot be understated. It was their decryption skills that set the stage for the American victory. The stage was set, the actors in place, and the Battle of Midway commenced, unfolding a spectacle of strategic genius and bravery. As dawn broke on June 4, 1942, the first of the airstrikes took flight from the decks of American carriers. These were the opening salvos in a confrontation that would echo through the annals of history. The American forces, guided by the intelligence from their codebreakers, were prepared for the Japanese attack. Their aircraft, like arrows from a bow, rushed towards the enemy's carriers, their targets carefully chosen. The first wave of dauntless dive bombers from the USS Enterprise and USS Yorktown focused their attention on the Kaga and Akagi, 2 of the 4 Japanese carriers. The American pilots, with nerves of steel, dived through a hail of anti-aircraft fire, dropping their payloads and setting the enemy ships ablaze. Meanwhile, the USS Hornet's aircraft, after an arduous journey, found their mark on the Soryu, the 3rd carrier. The 4th carrier, Hiryu, managed to elude the initial strikes, launching its own counterattack and inflicting serious damage on the USS Yorktown. Yet the American forces were undeterred. A second wave of aircraft from the USS Enterprise found the Hiryu, and with a devastating strike, sent it to the bottom of the Pacific. In these critical hours, the American forces demonstrated an extraordinary blend of tactical innovation, courage, and tenacity. They fought against the odds, turning the tide of the battle in their favor. The sinking of the 4 Japanese carriers was a crippling blow to the enemy, a victory that marked a significant turning point in the Pacific War. The battle was fierce, the stakes high, but American strategy and valor triumphed in the face of adversity. The Battle of Midway, a testament to the power of intelligence and the courage of the men who fought, remains a shining beacon in the history of naval warfare. The smoke cleared, the waters calmed, and the impact of the Battle of Midway resonated far and wide. In the aftermath of the fierce engagement, the Japanese Imperial Navy was left reeling, having lost 4 of its prime aircraft carriers, the Akagi, Kaga, Soryu, and Hiryu. This loss was monumental, as aircraft carriers were the backbone of the naval force, pivotal in dictating the course of the Pacific War. The Japanese also lost a cruiser, hundreds of aircraft, and over 3,000 men. The American forces, on the other hand, emerged with a renewed sense of confidence and morale. Despite losing the USS Yorktown and a destroyer, the victory at Midway was a testament to their resilience and strategic prowess, a beacon of hope amidst the dark clouds of war. But the Battle of Midway was more than a single victory. It was a turning point that shifted the balance of power in the Pacific. Prior to Midway, the Japanese had been on the offensive, pushing the boundaries of their empire. But the crippling blow dealt at Midway halted their advance and put them on the defensive for the remainder of the war. This change in momentum was not just physical, but psychological as well. The image of Japanese invincibility, so carefully cultivated since the attack on Pearl Harbor, was shattered. The Allies now knew that the Japanese could be defeated, and this knowledge fueled their determination to fight on. The Battle of Midway also had far-reaching effects on the broader course of World War II. It diverted Japanese resources and attention, allowing the Allies to gain a foothold in other critical areas. The battle marked the beginning of a strategic offensive by the United States and its allies, a campaign that would eventually lead to the end of the war. The Battle of Midway, a monumental victory for the United States, marked a significant turning point in World War II, altering the course of history.